Is it worth building an artificial intelligence to make money with sports betting? Or is it just a waste of time and money? Today I decided to investigate something many have wondered. Can an AI really help you make money analyzing matches? And more importantly, is it worth building it from scratch? Because in theory, it sounds perfect. An artificial intelligence that analyzes thousands of data points, calculates probabilities, and tells you who is more likely to win. It sounds almost like automatic money. But reality is very different. To start, building an AI of this type is not as simple as it seems. You need data. A lot of data. Match history, statistics, team performance, players, and access to sports APIs that in most cases are not free. And here the first problem appears, the cost. Because you don't just pay for the data, you also need a server, time to develop, and programming knowledge. And if you don't know how to program, you are going to have to learn, which also costs time, and a lot of it. But even if you manage to overcome that part, another problem appears, complexity. Because it's not just building an AI and that's it. You have to clean data, train models, test them, adjust them, and repeat that process over and over again. And even then, you have no guarantee that it will work. But here comes the most important part of all. The real problem is not technical. The real problem is that football is not predictable. A team can play perfectly and lose. There can be an unexpected injury, a referee's decision, a human error, and everything changes in seconds. And that, there is no model that can predict it 100%. So what do these systems actually do? They don't look to be right every time. They look to have a small advantage. A slightly better percentage that in the long run could make the difference. But that doesn't mean you are always going to win. In fact, you are going to lose many times. So we get to the key question. Is all this worth it? And the answer depends on your goal. If what you are looking for is fast money, no, it's not worth it. Because a perfect system doesn't exist. And believing that an AI will always make you win is simply deceiving yourself. But if you look at it from another point of view, the answer changes completely. Because if your goal is to learn, create projects, understand how artificial intelligence works, then yes, it is very much worth it. Because in the process, you learn programming, data analysis, how models work, and you develop skills that actually can give you real money. Even there is a third case, and it's where everything becomes more interesting. Content. Because you can document the process, show results, create videos, and build an audience. And there is where the opportunity really is. Not in winning bets directly, but in creating something around that. In the end, building an AI for sports betting is not easy. It's not cheap, and it doesn't guarantee results. But it can open doors for you, if you know how to use it. So the real question is not if AI can make money. The real question is, how are you going to use that AI?
A few moments later.
But I wanted to go further. I didn't want to stay only with the theory. I wanted to check it for real. So I decided to create a real mini project, an artificial intelligence focused on analyzing sports betting. And this time, I was going to put it to the test with real money. To do it, I used several tools. I used Python, Visual Studio Code, the Warp terminal, and an API called the Odds API, a platform that delivers real odds from bookmakers all over the world. The free account gave me 500 credits, more than enough to start the experiment. So I connected the API with my system using Python. I imported libraries like Pandas to organize the data, and Requests to bring information in real time from the internet. Then I configured my private key, I selected football matches, and focused the analysis on specific teams: Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Sporting. In seconds, my system started to work. It reviewed odds, implied probabilities, and the potential value of each bet. And here was where I did something interesting. I didn't just look at the normal odds. I also added my own logic, a small personalized adjustment to detect possible historic comebacks. And yes, the chosen team was Real Madrid. Because if there is a club known for making impossible comebacks, it is that one. After running everything in the terminal, my AI gave the final result. The best cost-benefit option was to bet on the Real Madrid comeback. So I made the decision. I entered the sportsbook and bet approximately $5. Real money. Now everything depended on the match. And the start was perfect. Real Madrid started winning. The prediction seemed correct. Everything pointed to the AI having found real value. But then, what no algorithm can control happened. A red card. The match was lost. In a matter of minutes, everything changed. And there I understood something important. The AI can analyze data, it can find probabilities, it can detect opportunities, but it cannot predict the chaos. It cannot foresee an expulsion, a refereeing error, an injury, or simply an unexpected night. That shows something that many don't understand. Football is not a perfect equation. It is a living sport. And that's why no is not a money machine. It is a tool. And the real difference is not in the AI. It's in who builds it and how they use it.